Talk to us about, I know you're really passionate about content curation. How does it benefit learning designers?
Well, I suppose in some ways it can do them out of a job. You know, I mean, because they're not having.
We'll cut the webinar now.
well, I mean, it shouldn't, but in terms of they may not have to actually go and develop so much content, and so therefore there may not be as much work for them. But certainly I think there's the ability to actually look at, right, there's some really good content out there, and the job of the learning designer, I think, is then actually making sense of that, bringing it together. I mean, so, and that's the thing where you've got obviously distinct difference between content curation and aggregation. So there's a lot of tools out there where we can aggregate content. I can go and do a search on content and pull it together, but I haven't actually done anything with it. So it's then a matter of fact, the next step is the curation piece, to go, right, well now I've got all this aggregated content, what am I going to do with it, and how am I going to put it together? You know, it goes back to, you know, the likening it to the museum and the art director, and the art director's probably got a warehouse full of paintings, but he's only going to put half a dozen paintings or a dozen paintings in a room.
So true.
And that's where the job of the learning designer comes in. He's actually looking at that and going, right, well I've got all this content here, but I actually only want these 6 or 8 or 10 objects to send the message and to tell that story. And that's, I think, where they need to be looking. And in some cases they go, right, well, I've got, you know, to tell the story, and here's half a dozen objects that are already on the web. Okay, I need to build 2 more to put it together. Or maybe I build the overarching framework, or maybe I'm building the game that is linking people to that content. So I think that's where the learning designers can look at the idea of more time in the actual design of the experience and less time in the design of the content, because they can curate the content.
It's so true, like, because there's so many fantastic TED Talks and things like that out there working that are motivating and compelling people to do something different. So why would you try and tell that story or that principle again, or recreate it because we feel that that's our role as learning designers, where really it's going, that's something that works, millions of people have gone, this has impacted my life, okay, that's the key piece that is going to help solve that thing that I need to tick as part of my solution. So
yeah, that's right. And it is, and then obviously if you can then build the game aspect around it, so it might be, you know, having, whether they view that content as, you know, pre-knowledge requirement and then go and play a game, or they actually have to go and find that content themselves amongst stuff that you've built or you've given them sources to look at. There's a whole range you can do that.